One of my top 5 films of all time is Saving Mr. Banks. This was released in 2013 and it's directed by John Lee Hancock, written by Kelly Marcel and Sue Smith. And the reason I watched this initially was because Emma Thompson's in it. She's one of my favourite actresses. But it's also worth pointing out that Mary Poppins is my favourite musical. Maybe second to Sweeney Todd, but I think they're very different flavours. Mary Poppins holds a massive place in my heart and has done for as long as I can remember. I watched it countlessly as a child. So having this film that tells us the stories of how P.L. Travers' novel came to be a Walt Disney film is absolutely sensational. And having Emma Thompson playing P.L. Travers is... What I particularly like about this is not just the narrative and seeing how Mary Poppins came to be the musical that we know and love, but also finding out more about P.L. Travers' personality. Now, I don't know exactly how accurate this is or how much liberty it took, but I do think that Emma Thompson gave a fantastic performance as Travers. And she's not what one would expect for being a children's author. She's quite negative, quite over the top. One of my favourite scenes in the whole film is when she is in a hotel, when she first arrives at the Disney park, and she goes to the hotel and there are stuffed Winnie the Poohs and things around. And her reaction to that is priceless. So she's not what one would expect from a children's author. She also is not particularly keen on the way the musical is developing. And it makes one wonder why she would have signed the rights over to Disney to begin with, because she seems very against the whole process. But we also learn that she has some underlying issues, many of which kind of stem from the Mr. Banks character, which I love. I think he's one of my favourite characters because he's got so much depth to him. But the film itself is fantastic. We obviously get to see a lot of Disney, a lot of the parks. It's great to see the creative process, hearing some of the songs that we know and love kind of slowly coming to life and having bits of the narrative being pieced together. So this is definitely aimed at fans of Mary Poppins because it is just Mary Poppins from an external angle rather than from inside the story. And it is sensational. But even if you're not the biggest fan about Mary Poppins, I think you'll still really love the Disney aspect and getting to meet Walt Disney as a character. He's played by Tom Hanks, and I think he's a brilliant Walt Disney. I thought he did an absolutely fantastic job. It's got a pretty good cast. Kathy Baker, Colin Farrell, Ruth Wilson, Paul Giamatti. Definitely check out the cast list on IMDb. It's got a very strong cast. Obviously, it has a great soundtrack, as it's peppered with songs that we love. It was also nominated for the Best Achievement in Music written for Motion Pictures at the Academy Awards. It did win 14 awards, but unfortunately that was not one of them. There's actually a really interesting category. There's the AARP Movies for Grown-Up Awards, and the category is the Best Movie for Grown-Ups Who Refuse to Grow Up. And I may actually look at that category and watch all of those films. It's great fun, and I think that's a really great way of describing it. It does recapture the magic of Mary Poppins. It does allow you to relive the magic that you would have experienced watching the film as a child and being immersed in this magic world, but it allows you to do it from a more grown-up adult world perspective without losing any of the magic. In fact, if nothing else, it just gives the film even more magic because it gives it more depth and more layers, and it's absolutely beautiful. This is, as I said, one of my all-time favourite films. I love the musical film, I love the stage show, I love the soundtrack, I've read the book, I really liked it. I don't know how I would rank this film. I think I'd probably go stage musical, film, Saving Mr. Banks, and then the novel. It is beautiful though. It's a beautiful, beautiful film. Definitely worth watching. See how many Disney references you can catch. And just, let yourself have some fun with this one because it's absolutely stunning. And I truly, truly love it.